Hey, what up, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For up-to-the-minute Dodgers news, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Do you think we're going to see Max Muncy back again in the postseason, and how big of an impact do you think he can still have for the Dodgers in October? And then also, give me your X factor for the Dodgers on offense, and give me a pitcher that's going to be an X factor for the Dodgers. Let me know down below in the comments section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So we just heard from Dave Roberts, who had his wild card round press conference, and we've got tons of news updates to get into, starting with Clayton Kershaw. The three-time Cy Young Award winner left last Friday night's game against the Milwaukee Brewers after going just an inning and 2/3 and throwing 42 pitches, and he was placed on the 10-day IL with left forearm discomfort, and we were fearing the worst. They were going to conduct additional tests, and they got those tests back, and it looks like we got some really good news when it comes to Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton, it's the great thing is that the scans show that there's no ligament damage. So that's something that is a sigh of relief for everyone. It's sort of, he's working out as per usual, and obviously we don't expect him back for this postseason, but I think that short, long-term, not to have any ligament damage was a huge sigh of relief for all of us.
So like Doc said, a huge sigh of relief because he doesn't need surgery. They've completely ruled out Tommy John surgery for Clayton Kershaw, and that's just great news because, yes, he's going to miss the entirety of the 2021 postseason, but the great news is that it's not the worst-case scenario. No TJ for Clayton Kershaw, and what I think that does is I think that increases the odds significantly that he'll return next season. And I'm just going to call my shot right now. I know that he might consider retirement. I know that there's a slim chance he might want to sign with the Texas Rangers, but with the way his season ended this year, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll find a way to be back in Dodger Blue and get that farewell tour the right way. He can still be a quality pitcher. He can still be a number 3 or 4 starter in a World Series contending team as long as he's healthy. So get healthy, Kersh. We want to see you back on the mound at Dodger Stadium. Hopefully you never retire. Hopefully you just figure things out and continue to evolve as a pitcher, and we see you have success for years to come. But even if it's just for one more season, which I don't think it will, I think he'll sign on for a couple years, we need to see it back on the mound at Dodger Stadium so we can give you your flowers and we can celebrate you and for everything you've done for this organization. He needs a farewell tour at the end, just like Kobe Bryant got. That's how much he's meant to this organization. But the next big news was about Max Muncy. Now, Sunday, it was like the injury weekend at Dodger Stadium. Kershaw goes down on Friday, and then Sunday in the 3rd inning, Max Muncy, he goes down with an elbow injury after Brewers infielder Jace Peterson collided with Muncy as he was trying to make it to first base. He was inside the first baseline. Not a great throw by Will Smith, but Max Muncy, like I said, he's as tough as a $2 steak, and he was on the ground writhing in pain, and it turns out that Max Muncy actually popped his elbow back in on the field, and it's been a couple days now, and they've done some testing, and here's the latest on Max Muncy.
He did some testing. So what we do know is that there's not a UCL tear. It's not going to require surgery. As of right now, that's our expectation. Still trying to hold out a glimmer of hope that he'll be able to join us later on in the postseason. So I don't know what that really means, but I do know that he's been known to heal quickly, and he's determined to try to come help us in any way he can, so I don't want to close the door completely on that. So I guess right now, looking at where we were on Sunday, it's probably the best case scenario than originally we saw. It's not to the UCL. I know obviously it's the elbow region, but I think specifically there was no UCL tear, so then now you're kind of introducing ligaments, tendons, muscles, and things like that. So right now it's really sore, range of motion not good. which is to be expected. So it's something that we feel with time and rehab, he'll be fine and back to normal. But what it means for, the next 4 weeks, that's the wait and see.
So definitely more encouraging than the Kershaw news, because there is some hope that he could return in the postseason. And he is a guy that I think is going to do whatever it takes to get back on the field. And the Dodgers, they're going to miss their most productive power hitter. Led the Dodgers in home runs this year with 36. Led the Dodgers with 94 RBIs this season. So when you lose Max Muncy, you're losing a lot of power and a lot of production. In the postseason, he has an 881 OPS and 9 home runs in 129 at-bats across 8 series. We've seen him come up with big clutch hits in October. So make no mistake about it, this is a huge blow, and Muncy will be missed until he's back in the lineup. And I'll tell you who this is really good for, the San Francisco Giants. Because if the Dodgers are able to advance to the NLDS to play the Giants, he has been an absolute giant killer in his career. And this year, 1,056 with 8 home runs against the Giants this season. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. The Giants lose Brandon Belt, their biggest slugger, who's also a first baseman, and the same thing for the Dodgers. They lose Max Muncy at the end of the season, their best power hitter, who also plays first base. So the good news is no surgery. He has a high pain tolerance, and he's going to try to get back on that field. And the other thing, too, is if we see Max Muncy this postseason, it means the Dodgers have advanced to either the NLCS or the World Series. So win for Max Muncy. You can take my elbow if you need it. I'll donate to you. Probably not as strong as yours, but hey, it's all I got. But then Doc talked about the void that Max Muncy left at first base and who's going to fill it for the wild card game against the Cardinals.
I haven't decided on who's going to start at first base tomorrow. Obviously, guys that we have actively, Beatty, Pujols, Cody's played some first base, obviously, more in years past. McKinney potentially could be on the roster who plays some first base. So we've got some options, but I'm going to think about it for another 24 hours. But, if a guy starts a game, he might not finish the game there, and trying to keep some optionality with the lineup, with the defense, and all that stuff.
So how surprised were you to hear Billy McKinney's name there? Because I know I was. I think at the end of the day, if they look at the analytics, which everyone says they do, they will go with Matt Beatty. That is the right move to make. But knowing Dave Roberts, he's a sucker for a narrative at times, and I think maybe they go with Albert Pujols because of his experience. But we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. Hopefully they go with Matt Beatty, and hopefully they maybe start with Matt Beatty, and then you see Pujols later in the game have a big clutch hit. And Doc also mentioned Gavin Lux and how he's been swinging a hot bat, but he also pointed out that he doesn't have very much experience in the outfield and that losing time really hurt him get those reps. So I think they'll keep Cody Bellinger in center field, but he also said Belly at first and Lux in center was a potential option as well. And then some other quick notes that Doc talked about. He said that they might carry 10 pitchers on the wild card roster, so you're going to have a lot of position players. And then he said that Julio Urias could come out of the bullpen. I just dropped a video on that, so if you want to check that out, we talked about that. And also Walker Buehler is off the wild card roster, and he would start game 1 of the NLDS. But real quick, my X factors for the postseason on offense, I'm going with A.J. Pollock. He has struggled with the Dodgers in the postseason, but I think this is the year he has a chance to really break out in October, and that is going to lengthen this lineup. I trust everyone else in this lineup because we've seen him do it in the past, but will it be A.J. Pollock's here? If it is, that's going to go a long way to making this offense just unstoppable. And then when it comes to the bullpen, I'm going to go with Kenley Jansen. I know Kenley Jansen has had a lot of postseason success, but if he can stay as hot as he's been in the regular season, in the postseason, that's going to change everything for this bullpen because you don't have to worry about using guys like Julio Urias or using guys in spots they're not familiar with based on the year we've had. So that's going to be big, but let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. For all latest Dodgers Nation merch, head over to GearUp.LA. For latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. Download the Dodgers Nation app for my Android iPhone users. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.